On the internet, sometimes you have to get really creative to stand out from the crowd, which births some legends, like the great Tide Pod eaters of yesteryear, or the absolute champion, the brave soul who attempted the hot coil challenge where he put his forearm on a stovetop. And these ideas are always made with the intent of getting views and going viral. And today I learned about someone who tried a new tactic, derailing a train for YouTube views.
Charges have now been filed against a Lancaster County teen accused of intentionally causing this train derailment out in Bennett. The 17-year-old even sent this video to 1011 afterwards. You see there some of those cars veering off of the tracks. It happened at the crossing at Highway 43 back on April 22nd. A criminal complaint says that between the rail itself and the train engines and cars, about $350,000 worth of damage was done. That teen has now been charged with 2 felony counts of criminal mischief, but he is not in custody at the moment. Attorneys have filed a motion to move his case to county court and to try him as an adult.
A very interesting strategy here. This sounds like some kind of lame plot that Cobra Commander would have cooked up to lure out the G.I. Joe, except here it's just used for views. There's so many things to unpack here, but one thing I'm very curious about is where he planned to go from here. Like, let's say he did get a huge audience for derailing the train. Does he just keep amping up the stakes? Like, next video he smuggles a bomb onto a plane, follow-up video he drops depth charges into the Suez Canal. Like, I don't know how you keep upping the mischief to keep the audience hooked here. It seems like this is a one-and-done thing, unless he was just going to be some kind of, like, serial train derailer, like the worst Saturday morning cartoon villain ever. So, who knows what the potential was behind this young lad's YouTube career, but he is being charged, and it looks like it's going to be very serious charges. $350,000 in damages, that's a lot of clams. He's gonna have to sell a lot of Hot Wheels and maybe even his Fortnite account to start trying to make up for that.
Of also pulling a rail switch, ultimately causing that derailment. The lead investigator says the accused 17-year-old walked up during the investigation and asked what happened, later telling the investigators it was, quote, obvious that the switch had been pulled, and then showed the investigator the video you're seeing now. Railway police believe that security cameras in the area showed the teen not only driving up to the scene, but also setting up a camera minutes before the derailment.
I guess I've never seen a real-life train derailment, which is maybe the purpose behind his video, to educate us on what they actually look like. Because in my head, I always picture it the way Hollywood portrays it, where when a train derails, it's going at like fucking Mach 5 speed, and even when the emergency brake is cranked, it doesn't really do anything to stop it, so then the cars just start shooting off the tracks in every which way as Linkin Park's What I've Done plays. But clearly that's not the case in reality. So the conductor attempted to make an emergency stop, but didn't have enough time to do so before reaching the point of no return, and then it collided with an empty coal car. And it's very lucky that there weren't more damages, because I imagine in a situation like that, it's pretty common for some of the cars to start, like, not flipping over, like they're not doing like a fucking kickflip or a pop shove it and falling off the tracks, but like tipping over and shit once they get off the tracks, and especially when they collide with something huge like an empty coal car. So it definitely sounds like it could have been a lot worse there, so it was lucky that it didn't get as bad. And speaking of lucky, you can get really lucky right now by getting Goof Juice. It's going to improve your luck stat because it's the best beverage ever made. It's the best flavor. My GamerSupps Goof Juice flavor is available right now. There's a huge sale. gamersupps.gg/moist, or click the link in the description. Reading about it just makes the whole thing even stupider though, because the kid wanted to record it and share it on YouTube, so he hatched this nefarious scheme to go pull the lever after setting up a camera so he could film a train derailing, and then he stayed at the scene the entire time, and was even the one who alerted authorities to the incident. So he approached the investigator asking what caused the crash, and the investigator said he didn't know, so the suspect allegedly said, "Obviously a switch was flipped the wrong way." And I can already just imagine, like, he's putting a pinky to his mouth like Dr. Evil. He then even showed investigators the video he took, but denied trespassing and tampering with the switch. I guess he was really hoping that absolute bumbling imbeciles would have shown up that would have chalked up his presence and video recording equipment as just being some kind of coincidence. Dude shows up with like a fucking full-blown studio here to record this, and he expected the authorities to be like, huh, that's weird. Who could have done this? Must have been the fucking goat man. Like, Jesus Christ, I guess he was really expecting, like, NPCs from Assassin's Creed to show up that just immediately de-aggro when you go into tall grass, like, must have been the wind. Probably wasn't this kid fucking filming everything here. So, he was also spotted setting up his camera and tripod near the crossing 4 minutes before the train derailed. And then they also found a video of the derailment posted to their YouTube channel. So, I mean, that was kind of a game point right there. That was kind of a checkmate. The 17-year-old's apparently a huge train enthusiast. That's what their YouTube account mainly dedicated to. And it's a big community on YouTube with, like, train videos, train spotting, and all of that. But I don't think anyone's gone so far as to intentionally derail a train to stand out in the community. That's definitely breaking new ground there. I am shocked, though, how easy it was for him to do that. Like, I just always imagined there'd be, like, actual security parameters in place to prevent just any old fucking Joe Schmo from walking up and just cranking a lever to change a train track. But I guess in this case, there was a padlock that was supposed to be there that wasn't there. Or perhaps this rabbit hole goes deeper. I'm going to put on the tinfoil hat here and blast your ass with a conspiracy theory. What if he wasn't working alone? What if there was an entire network here that set up this train derailment? What if it was the deep state using this 17-year-old to derail the train and cause havoc? Perhaps they were banking on even more damages with cars flipping over, maybe spilling some hazardous waste or something. So someone on the inside at the trail company, Jesus Christ, at the train company, they took the padlock away. They had a secret agent go in there, remove the padlock, and then the 17-year-old showed up and had free access to that lever and then to film it. And this is just the fall guy that we're looking at here. Food for thought. Something worth stewing on a bit. Now only time will tell as the investigation continues what the truth of the matter was, but most likely it was just someone fishing for YouTube views through a really degenerate viral video idea. Now, there is something I want to mention about trains. I may have never seen a train derail, but I have seen a train stop. That may not be some jaw-dropping feat or an achievement. I'm sure millions of other people have seen stopped trains before, but mine comes with a story. So there was a train track that ran right outside of my university when I was in college, and one night when going to a bar, the train had broken down, and it was stopped on that train track, and everyone at the bar would go and, like, climb on it and take pictures on it, and I wanted to be part of the crowd. So I did the same, and I took a picture in front of the train with my arms crossed. I'm pretty sure I pulled this up on stream at one point, but I used this as one of my Tinder profile pics for quite a long time. And it is perhaps one of the most revolting pictures you will ever find. It's so fucking stupid, it's so blurry, it looks like a picture of Sasquatch, and it is such a bad photo of me. It's when I still had, like, the mutton chops for a little while. God bless, what a fucking awful idea that was. But I looked like Wolverine if he got scurvy. So I was standing there in front of the train, arms crossed and, like, semi on my tippy toes, so I looked a little bigger in front of the train. And I unironically used that as my Tinder profile pic for quite a while. And I just had to share that here. I'm pretty sure I brought up that picture on stream, but I don't know if I ever told the full story to it. So seeing a train derail isn't really the same as seeing a train stopped and taking a picture in front of it, but both instances do involve a train. So, felt the need to share. That's about it. See ya. This is another one of those sad situations where I have to admit Twitch chat was right and I look like a bumbling imbecile now. About a month ago, chat was trying to convince me that there was a viral TikTok challenge that was getting people to steal cars and sometimes crash them for views, and I wrote that off as a bunch of baloney. I said, I doubt that's an actual trend. Probably just one stupid asshole did it, called it a challenge, and no one ever followed. But it turns out I was wrong. Not only is this boogeyman real, but it actually has led to the death of 4 teenagers this week. Somehow, the challenges continue to get more and more brain dead and dangerous. This generation of Tide Pod eating and hurting yourself for views on TikTok is reaching an absolutely absurd level of wildness. So, it's called the Kia Challenge. It's also not really a challenge, it's more of just a ruin your life speedrun tutorial. Basically, the only goal to be completed with the Kia challenge is to steal a car and post yourself stealing the car on TikTok. It honestly sounds like it's something made by the CIA to catch potential car thieves. You're fucking instructing them to post evidence of their crime online, making it the easiest slam dunk arrest ever. But anyway, the Kia challenge was videos that were teaching others how to steal Kias and Hyundais specifically because of a massive vulnerability in many models from Kia and Hyundai. For Kia vehicles, many of them built from 2011 to 2021 have this problem, and for Hyundais, those built from 2015 to 2021 also have this problem. I'm not here to teach you how to do it. I'm not your Thieves Guild sensei, but I will tell you it is shockingly fucking easy. It's mind-blowing how stupid and simple it is. These cars are more insecure than me going through puberty. They basically steal themselves, honestly. It takes seconds, like actual seconds. Not even like mini seconds, like maybe 2 or 3 tops. It's fucking baffling, honestly. So, since this challenge went viral, there's been this massive increase in thefts with Kia and Hyundais. And this week it led to 4 teenagers dying. In a few of the Kia Challenge videos that are still available online, the people in them are driving recklessly, and in a couple of them even crash. However, this one happened to be a fatal single-car accident, killing 4 of the passengers here, and now the driver's facing a felony charge. Pretty sad story all around, and it all stems from a little TikTok trend. Just when you thought we'd seen the dumbest trends from that platform with like devious licks and shit like that, they've gone even harder now. But I think it's very important we discuss what a massive fuck up this is from Kia and Hyundai. How in the world, 2,000 years after the death of Jesus, with all of the technology we have now, how can you have this massive vulnerability? It's obviously a massive problem here, so much so that they have now been served a class action lawsuit as of late September because these vehicles that they manufactured during the time periods I listed don't have immobilizers on them, which as I understand is standard among pretty much all the other automobiles out there. I'm not much of a car guy. I don't know too much about that shit. I know more about the anatomy of a fucking alien than I would a car's engine and what goes into vehicles. But according to the lawsuit, the engine immobilizers are crucial, and they've come at Kia and Hyundai for not having them, stating that they valued profits over safety and security of their customers. And it also outlines just how big of a problem it's become. It is just an absolute epidemic with all of these car thefts with the Kia and Hyundai models here, and it all ties back to the lack of engine immobilizer, as I understand it. And it seems like this was a massive blunder here because all the extra doubloons they were able to squeeze out of their profit margins is all about to whittle away here and probably end in some net loss with this class action lawsuit. It's a huge deal, obviously. And just a really sad trend all around, since it ended in the death of 4 teenagers who probably wouldn't have stolen this car if they weren't fed the information on how to do it, as well as also fed the idea that by doing it, they'd gain TikTok clout. I believe at the time, and according to this article, the Kia Challenge category on TikTok, like the trend where all of these things lived, had 5.9 billion views across all of the videos there. Now, of course, not all of them were views on videos of people actually stealing the cars. A lot of them were people talking about how dangerous the challenge is. But there was, of course, quite a few videos actually showcasing just the blatant theft of Kias and Hyundais in there, in the Kia Boys area. And just fucking awful stuff. TikTok cracked down on it and banned those accounts and shut all of the Kia Boys, Kia Challenge stuff down, but even still, you can still find quite a few of them, and it clearly does still exist in some capacity because this only happened this week. So it's still a rather popular idea, even if not like a direct trend on TikTok anymore. So just wanted to talk about this a little bit, since this was just a situation where I was just absolutely wrong when Twitch chat was bringing me some new information here that I just refused to believe. It was so outlandish, I didn't believe it. I didn't think anyone would ever actually start a trend of just crime, and I was proven wrong. And it's very sad. Not sad about me being proven wrong, just the actual subject matter here being sad. That's about it. See ya. Hey, I'm home, back from the little Christmas vacation that I took to a basement up north, a basement that I wanted to be in, and I came home and thought, what better way to celebrate the holidays? Quite like hopping on TikTok and watching some TikTok moms do goofy dances while their children die in front of them at the hospital. Yeah, that's not an exaggeration. It's become a little bit of a trend this holiday season for these narcissistic TikTok moms that are terminally addicted to posting cringe on TikTok to go to the hospital where their children are struggling to survive and do dances on top of them, like, or not on top of them, they're not like literally dancing on their fucking corpse or anything, but do dances next to them. So it's a video of these TikTok moms with their sick child, and they're just doing these fucking whipping and nay-naying, hitting the fucking stanky leg and shit, while their kids are dying. Now, admittedly, that last part's a bit of an exaggeration. Not every single one of these videos is the kid in a life or death situation, but all of them are sick because they're in the hospital at the ICU. And the moms all use this as a way of getting some updoots on the platform. And they always say, like, a mother's love for their child is the strongest, most powerful thing in the world. That's a fucking lie. A mother's love for TikTok likes is significantly stronger, and I'm only going to show you one of the videos from this trend, the biggest one by far, and as always, don't go harass the patient zero of this trend. This is the one that really kicked it all off. Now, I'm no epidemiologist, so I can't really plot it super well, but from everything I can see, this was one of the first and definitely the biggest in this trend. So this is a mom that's busting it wide open, hitting the Gangnam Style while her infant is diagnosed with RSV and struggling to breathe on their own. RSV stands for respiratory something virus. I can't remember the S. Respiratory selfish mom virus. I don't remember. But oftentimes it's not fatal. It's something that does occur pretty frequently from what I remember. Now, that's not to say that it's trivial, because it can be fatal. So it's not exactly a diagnosis that you'd hear and start wiggling your finger and celebrating. Oh, my kid's got a respiratory virus? Oh, hot dog! The first instinct of any mother shouldn't be to fire up the camera for TikTok clout to capitalize off the situation, but it's become so poisonous to people's mental health that they feel everything is a prop. I really feel like a lot of the parents on TikToks use their kids as props for their own narcissism, so that way they can get likes out of it or get some pats on the back like, oh, great parenting, you're doing wonderful. It's really sickening, honestly. I just think so many people have been brainwashed by the fucking stupidity on the platform that they think something like this is okay or normal. It's just been so ingrained in their DNA at this point. We care more about TikTok likes than, like, the health of our own family, it seems. Because there are people that defend it like, this is a coping mechanism. In fact, this is really good for the infant because they'll see the mother's positive vibes. She's dancing, it's nothing serious. And while there is some merit to that, keeping a positive attitude in a bad situation, you don't need to fire up TikTok for it. How does that help the kid? Is the kid going to get the revenue from that? Is he going to, directly benefit from you making this all about yourself and your dance? It doesn't make any sense because it's not helping that kid. Keeping a positive attitude, great. And if you want to dance and maybe put a smile on their face, wonderful. But she wasn't doing this for the kid. She was doing this for her audience. Now, overwhelmingly, the response to this was negative, even on TikTok. So she responded by taking down the video and apologizing for it, while also trying to justify it by saying we don't know what she was going through. But I still think under no circumstances is there justification for trying to get TikTok clout out of an awful situation like that. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't see how you could defend it, but anyway, she did take it down, and it started a trend though, regardless. Before it was taken down, there was a lot of these videos. I'm not going to share any of the other ones, but there is one that I want to talk about in particular. It was a lady who was doing, again, another goofy dance in front of their child who was in the ICU for some other respiratory illness. I think it was like some big asthma thing. I don't quite remember now. But her response when there was inevitable backlash was, fuck you guys, this is why people kill themselves. And the kill themselves was like caps locked. So she was blaming everyone else for getting mad at her. She just immediately starts playing the victim and blaming everyone else who was just calling out shitty narcissistic parenting and then trying to guilt everyone like, this is why people killed themselves. It's your fault. She'd find a way to blame TikTok if she hit her kid with her own car. You know, it was baffling to see that kind of response when people were just pointing out that this was not okay. It's not bullying, it's not frowned upon to point out awful behavior from parents like this. If I had footage of my mom fucking Harlem shaking while I was in the hospital with something going wrong, I would be pissed. I would feel so disgusted. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this since I saw it this afternoon, and it's a pretty fucking gross trend, as is the norm on TikTok. That's about it. So yeah. What I want to talk about today is something extremely infuriating. So if you're in a good mood right now, I tell you, you better kiss that thing goodbye, because there will be no happiness left after this topic. I've talked about for a while that TikTok has rotted the minds of all of its users and convinced them that they're the main characters of the entire world, and everything that happens around them is just a prop that they can use to get views and clout on TikTok. And today I learned about an absolute piece of shit named Alex Bodger. Alex Bodger pulled a Logan Paul. You remember when Logan Paul filmed the dead body in the Japan suicide forest and tried to use it as like the subject of his video, like, whoa, that's a dead body. He killed himself. What the fuck is this? You know, like I'm still surprised Logan Paul didn't start slapping Maverick merch on the corpse. Like he was really playing into it and using it as if it was some kind of great thing for him for views as a viral video. Well, Alex Bodger took a play out of Logan Paul's playbook, but even amplified it. So the situation was, there was an argument that happened at a Starbucks. A father had asked a stranger to stop vaping near his 3-year-old daughter. The stranger got very upset and it escalated into a murder. He stabbed the father right in front of his daughter and he bled out and died right there at the Starbucks. Taking the life of an innocent father all because he asked you to stop vaping for a minute is horrifying. What an unhinged, evil monster. It's such a trivial thing. Just, hey bud, can you just stop vaping for just a minute or two? Like, my daughter's right here and it's making us a bit uncomfortable. Like that, there was just no reason this should have ever escalated at all to begin with. Dude must have been vaping stupid juice. He threw his life away as well. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison for this murder, as he should. Just an awful and sad situation, and it really does blow my mind reading stories like this, where someone kills over something so small. Like, there was just no reason to even be upset in the first place that this guy asked you to stop vaping. What's the big fucking deal? Just stop vaping for a couple of minutes. It makes no fucking sense to me. Now, where does Alex Bodger come into play? Well, Alex Bodger was nearby and saw the scuffle starting, and he immediately started filming it and caught the stabbing, at least the last part of it. So he walked over to watch the guy bleed out, and as he's bleeding out, he just keeps saying, "Man just got stabbed. He's dead, bro. He's dead." And then he's getting like multiple angles, like he was trying to film a fucking 360 video of this for TikTok. He makes no attempt at all to do anything helpful to the situation, like calling authorities or anything even remotely useful to trying to help at all. It's all just about his TikTok video for him. I clearly can't show you the video, it's very bloody and very disturbing, but I'll play the audio from when he walks over, and it only gets worse from here because he continues to film and he gets more and more excited that he just filmed the man's death.
Man stabbed, bro, right here. Right here. This guy just stabbed this guy, man. This guy just stabbed him, bro. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead, bro. He's dead, bro.
After filming his passing, he then turns the camera to himself to make a selfie vlog out of it, which is why we now have this infamous picture of Alex Bodger. He's doing like the actual Twitch pog face with the dead, bloodied body right behind him. He couldn't stop himself from smiling and pretty much giggling. He was cheering on this death like he was at a fucking sports game.
Such a chaos on yours. This motherfucker just died, bro. He just died, bro. Holy fuck.
TikTok has just created an entire generation of absolutely fucking useless losers like Alex Bodger. Does nothing to help the situation and somehow uses a tragic murder as some kind of clout goblin scheme to make a viral video out of it. Now, luckily there is still some shred of hope for at least some TikTok users, because this guy got fucking dunked on so hard he deactivated all of his shit because everyone was bullying him for being this subhuman piece of shit that he is. So that's good at least. He even went back the next day in order to smoke a cigarette where this guy had been killed. Which is some real psychopath shit. I bet this guy really thought in his little smooth brain that this instance was going to be his ticket to the big time, the big leagues, the upper echelon of TikTok fame. He would be the guy that filmed the murder, I guess.
Starbucks stabbing fam. So I'm walking down the road. I thought I see a street fight. I thought it was just a street fight, right? So I start running over there, I start videotaping.
This guy actually just looks like he's cosplaying as a generic psychopath. I don't know how to explain it, but just by taking one look at him, I know he lives alone in an apartment and abuses his pets. He addresses the viewers as the Starbucks stabbing fam. I guess that's what he's trying to call his community, or lack thereof a community. It's pretty clear that he doesn't actually think this is a serious situation at all. This video is supposed to be like his defense, his side of the story, explaining it, you know, getting to the truth of it. You've all misunderstood me, and, you know, that kind of deal. But it's really not that at all. And at no point does he even address why he decided not to even try and help or call authorities or anything and just sit there and film. I really thought this was just going to be a standard cookie-cutter influencer apology video, complete with the fake tears true combo, but it's something very different.
And I see some blood, and so I just thought maybe like there was a bloody nose or something. My brain wasn't really allowing me to believe what just happened. And I knew he was dead, but at the same time, and so like this is my first time ever experiencing this, right? So like my brain's just like, he's dead, like and so I just started screaming because I don't know what the fuck else to do. The murderer is standing right there. All that's going through my head is like, holy fuck, I'm standing right here screaming he's dead while the murderer is right there. What if he comes at me and fucking kills me?
Oh, brother, we got it all wrong. He was afraid, clearly. You know, the murderer was right there, and this guy was concerned that maybe the murderer would come and kill him. He was so afraid that he stood there and continued to film the whole thing, including filming the murderer, while delivering play-by-play commentary as the father died in front of him. And then still continued to sit there filming and then turning it into a selfie vlog style where he starts pogging and laughing. It looked like he really was afraid, and now he's explained it, and now it makes sense. You know, he was like a deer in the headlights, afraid for his own life, clearly.
But I'm in so much shock, I'm just standing there doing this. And then I had what I thought was the most controversial thought of my life, which it was controversial, where I'm gonna say Satsi Kesanias. But the motherfucker just died part, like that smile on my face, that was out of uncomfort. I was so uncomfortable, I didn't know what just happened. Like that's how I always am in uncomfortable situations. I put a little bit of a smile on my face, you know? And like
I fucking hate the way this guy talks. He is talking like he's still trying to woo TikTok girls with this shit. Absolute weirdo. He's putting that little like what's it called, vocal fry in his speech, even though I know he has a lisp and is trying extremely hard to hide it here with all of this. And he's still taking like trying to make these like flattering angles while talking about filming this guy dying and cheering it on. I'm surprised he didn't start like sticking his tongue out and biting his bottom lip, because he even did like the generic and like, you know, that kind of garbage. What an absolute fucking creepy douchebag. Now, for what it's worth, I know that for some people in a traumatic or scary situation, they cope with it with like a smile or something. That's not what he did here. Like, that's not the same response. Not only were you laughing and smiling, you turned the whole thing into like a song and dance for you, for your content. You turned it into content. That's not just being uncomfortable and smiling. You literally turned the camera around to film you and the dead body like you were at a goddamn spring break concert. Like, it's not the same. Like, you can't even come close to making a convincing argument that, well, actually, I was just uncomfortable, which is why I was smiling and, you know, started vlogging. It's how I deal with trauma.
I'm sorry for the people that it pissed off. I've been called by the homicide unit. I shared my grief. Yeah, like, this shit, it doesn't faze me too much, only because, like, I've seen, like, I'll just say human life, to me, the way I look at it, if I don't know you is meaningless. It's meaningless. I'm just keeping it straight up, but yeah, he's dead. What can we do now?
What a totally normal person thing to say. Human life to me, if I don't know you, is meaningless. Oh, yeah, that's something not, you know, concerning to hear at all. That's not like a giant red flag. I'm also very curious where his brain was going when he said, like, it doesn't faze him too much because he's seen, and then he cut himself off. Also interesting that he contradicts himself, because he stated that he was, like, traumatized by the event, saying that every time he thinks about the situation, he gets a feeling in his chest of pure fear. But in this video, he's puffing out his chest and, you know, fucking spreading his lats like a bat, like he's such a big, strong man that this kind of thing doesn't faze him. So that's weird. What is it? Were you fazed by it, or does it not matter to you at all? And even in this video, said he shared his grief. Well, what grief? You already said you weren't really fazed by it, and since you didn't know the guy, his life had no meaning to you. So what the fuck are you talking about? I really feel like this guy has no actual human emotion whatsoever and is trying his best to put on some kind of show to prove he does, but it's very unsuccessful. The whole thing fucking sucks. This guy is an actual piece of shit, and it infuriated me, so I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Horrible, horrible situation, and that's really about it. So yeah. Yeah, so it turns out the Reddit mod meltdown on the Ring doorbell is real. I was very skeptical. I mentioned that a couple times in the video. It felt like forced, because you genuinely, like, if you asked someone to sit down with a box of crayons and said, draw me a caricature of a Reddit mod, it would spit out this guy. He's in like a pseudo trench coat with flip-flops, a Demon Slayer shirt. He even looks like the Soy Jack memes and shit and all that. I really thought that this was just like a very successful staged video. It's not. It's a very real thing, and it's actually very sad. So there's a couple of additional pieces of information that have come out. There's this video here where apparently he actually broke into the house. The claim is that the husband wasn't home and was talking to the guy through the Ring doorbell, which is what you hear in the original Freakout, but he eventually found his way in.
Where the fuck is she? Huh? Victor, you around?
So he's asking where the fuck is she? I'm assuming it's the daughter that he was talking about at the door. He starts opening these doors like it's a Scooby-Doo chase scene, like looking around. And he seems like he's in like a trance almost. Like this seems like he's having an episode of psychosis. It is what it looks like to me. And he's asking for someone named Victor. I don't know who he's looking for, maybe Victor Von Doom or something, I have no fucking clue. But he's looking for Victor and trying to locate some girl that he believes is in distress.
Victor, you around? Huh? You like raping little girls, bitch? Huh? You fucking try me, I swear to God I'll fucking kill you. Do you understand me? Where the fuck is she?
So I don't know who he's talking to there. In the comments, the poster said that they know who this happened to, which is how they have this Ring footage that he had sent it to him. In the comments, apparently the wife of the homeowner was home and had like locked herself in a room to try and stay safe, and I'm guessing that's who he's talking to there. Where he says, if you try me, I'll fucking kill you. I'm assuming he's talking to the wife there. And he didn't know this guy. So this guy was, I guess, just taking a cruise through the neighborhood and then picked this house.
You okay? Are you okay here? What's going on? Where are you?
It's a little quiet, but you can hear him say, are you okay? Are you okay in here? That could be the wife he's talking to there. I'm not sure, but he was saying something like, I'll kill you to someone else, like if you try me. And then he says, are you okay in here? To someone too. I'm not sure, you know, who he's talking to there or what that's about. But again, it feels like he's in like a state of psychosis. Eventually, the homeowner does get here.
You hey! Get the fuck out of my fucking house! You think you can fucking stop me, motherfucker? I will save that little girl, you bitch! There's no fucking... You fucking liar! I can hear her! I can fucking hear her!
So now there's a big tussle. So you can hear them scrapping. It's off camera. You can't see it, but I'm picturing like an Ed, Edd n Eddy when they start fighting all together. It's just like a big old cloud of smoke and a bunch of fists are flying. You can hear them rummaging around there, getting pugilistic. It's shaking the ring camera, but the whole time you can hear him saying like, "Where is she?" That kind of thing. And then I was gonna fast forward a bit. I don't know how long it lasts, but eventually he like starts to de-escalate the situation. The homeowner.
Man, who are you talking to, bro? You are. My name is Harry Dresden. Get the fuck out of my house.
He keeps insisting his name is Harry Dredson, the professional wizard detective. So even inside the home, while presumably getting his ass beat here, he is also maintaining I'm Harry Dredson. Maybe like flashed a badge or something at him. I don't really know, but he is staying with that. They are fighting. He keeps insisting that someone needs help here. The daughter or some woman, something. And then the homeowner comes down after the scuffle with this big shovel here, a fucking massive shovel. He's got the big snow shovel out, and now he starts to defuse it.
Third room, bro. I'm telling you, get the fuck out of my house, please. Just answer the question. Get the fuck out of my house. Just answer the question, please. There's no one in there. There's 3 rooms, man. I don't know who you are. You better get the street at 1797 Colop Drive. I don't know who you're talking about, man. Why do I hear screaming? Are you military? Yes. Okay. Can you help me out? Okay. Yes. I understand what you're going through right now. Yes. Can you step outside? Yes, sir. Thank you. Will. Thank you for asking.
So that is something that I found really interesting. He asks if he's military. He says yes. And he says, I know what you're going through. And then after he asks that question, like his whole demeanor kind of changes. And that's when he gets him outside. And that's when you see this arrest. Like, it's not fake. This inside footage I haven't seen outside of like the subreddit here. It feels like it's really hard to fake because it's definitely not AI. It is 1000% the same guy. Like that. I think this is probably legitimate as well, but the arrest is 1000% real. So that's how he gets him outside. I don't know if he's actually military or anything because, again, it seems like he's in a state of psychosis, so he might not even know what he just said yes to. Or maybe he really is ex-military and he is struggling with, like, PTSD or something. It's impossible to know, but he is definitely going through some kind of, like, episode here. So they fight. He de-escalates it with the snow shovel. Then everything else takes place outside. You can see the cops come in. They're checking on everything.
Fairfield Police, is anybody inside?
Fairfield Police Department.
And then outside, they take him away in cuffs.
No, or I will fucking end you. Do you understand me?
He rang the bell. The fight is on. Sounding straight out of an old Xbox Live lobby right there.
Don't move.
But yeah, they've got him out here now. And again, that's the homeowner that you can see here. He's wearing the same thing, so it's definitely the same guy. I think there's no world that this is somehow fake or staged. These aren't actor cops. These aren't like fucking strippers or anything. These are real. His police report is out there. He's facing a lot of charges. It turns out it was 1000% genuine, which I cannot believe. Me after 2 beers. well, bub. Interesting. Yeah, then they take Cobra Commander away. It was real. You can find his arrest report. He got hit with 4 felony charges for assault, deadly weapon, criminal threats with intent to terrorize, first-degree burglary, and vandalism. Yeah. I won't pull up the arrest report, but it's out there. He is looking at some very serious stuff. But like I said, from here, it really seems like he is just truly not in his right mind. I am very curious what the true story behind this guy is. Like, what actually led to this. This shit is unhinged. He did threaten to kill multiple times, and he did fight. Like, he fought the homeowner. I don't believe the wife was hurt or anything, so that's lucky. Crazy stuff, man. He's honestly lucky he didn't get shot. Like, at the door and certainly inside the house while going around, like, opening doors and slamming shit and, like, making threats, presumably at the wife that is apparently hiding in there. Like, it's lucky he didn't lose his life. He's lucky that he found this homeowner who, like, really did a master class in de-escalation, because most people aren't doing that. And even this is a really risky thing to do, because this guy absolutely could have followed through on his threats and just started shooting if he had a gun. Like, this was very dangerous and ended up working out, but that's not how it's going to play out most of the time, man. This guy would have absolutely been shot in most other places. You think other entitled Redditors would do something like this? It's not confirmed he's a Reddit mod. He looks like he was born to moderate subreddits. I don't know if he actually is one. So there's no telling. He is wearing, like, the Reddit mod cape and everything. Like, I don't think Reddit had anything to do with this. I'll tell you right now. I don't think this was a Reddit-driven experience. If it is an ex-military guy, that's just sad. It would be. That would be very sad, yeah. Again, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think he was in his right mind, so it's hard to take him at his word that he actually is ex-military. The whole thing is fucking sad, though. It's scary shit. I couldn't even imagine that kind of shit happening. That's the kind of thing you use to, like, scare kids with. Like, finish your broccoli, otherwise fucking Harry Dredson Reddit mod's gonna show up at our front door and start beating it with a doorbell string. In the never-ending pursuit for internet clout and attention, no price is too high. Some degenerates on TikTok would sacrifice their own grandmother if it meant they could film a TikTok over her open casket at the funeral in order to get some followers and likes out of her tragic demise. There is just simply no depths they won't sink to. Of course, most of the shit on TikTok is fake in order to farm impressions out of it, and I'm sure you've seen it all. Fake pranks, fake rage, fake titties, but I can promise you, you probably haven't seen what I'm about to show you today. A fake suicide savior. A guy decided to try and make a viral video out of portraying himself as some kind of angel who saves a man from jumping off of a parking garage and killing himself.
On my way home from work, I noticed a teenager leaning over the parking garage. It could just be someone chilling, but it's really high up and he looks young.
What a remarkable situation we've already entered into here. This guy is a master writer. He should be working for Scorsese. A beautifully crafted narrative already. Let's suspend disbelief for a moment. So you're on your way home from work, and for some reason your attention is drawn to a teenager on top of a parking garage, and you connect dots that, wow, this guy might be up there to kill himself. How do you even reach that conclusion? And then why would you then take out your phone and film him from a distance? Like, what is the thought process there? And then also the statement of he could be chilling, but he looks young and it's high up. What does him looking young have to do with anything? Why does that matter? It could be a 95-year-old geriatric man up there. The situation doesn't change. It's just somebody on top of a parking garage looking out. It's not exactly suspicious behavior. I absolutely love that this is the best his brain could cook up. All of his neurons were firing, and this is what they produced. This is his maximum potential. This pile of dog shit. Obviously fake and scripted, yet was good enough to convince some troglodytes on TikTok that it was real. And they were patting him on the ass, telling him that he's a hero, and that the Lord chose him as a guardian angel to save that guy's life. It was actually pretty sad to read, honestly. But yeah, he's now going up to the rooftop to have a conversation, a stern talking to with the man up top in order to try and save him.
I'm going to go up there and just make sure everything is okay. Then I got there and noticed him pacing back and forth. Time to go talk. Then this happened. You never know when someone just needs a hug. Be there.
I had tears in my eyes the first time I watched this. This benevolent saint, he set up his camera and filmed himself going over there to save a life in order to teach all of us that sometimes someone just needs a hug. An overall positive message done selfishly because he just did this to farm some likes and have people praise him for being some kind of hero because they're 11 years old and don't realize it's all fake. I just love this entire thing here. He sets up his camera before going over to talk to the suicidal person. Now let's just have a little fun and suspend disbelief. Let's assume everything we just watched was real and genuine. What a silly and whimsical idea from this guy to get his phone out before going to talk to him. Like, holy shit, this guy might actually kill himself. Where's my phone? Where's my fucking phone? I need to set this up properly. Oh, the lighting's bad. Hey, loser. If you're gonna kill yourself, you're gonna jump, can you do it over there? The lighting's better. The sun's like casting a bad shadow. Can you do it over there for a better shot? My framing's off. Like, you've actually got to be fucked in the head to try and farm some internet clout out of like a legitimate suicide situation. Like, that is beyond deplorable. So obviously it's all fake. The guy isn't actually suicidal. He wasn't on the verge of jumping. It's a friend of his that was doing him a favor. It's one of his buddies. And together the two of them did a fusion dance with their smooth brains and hatched this idea for the fake suicide saving video to hopefully get some likes out of it. And it only moderately succeeded. This isn't like his best performing video or anything like that. In fact, it didn't even really get big. So he ended up just making a fucking fool out of himself for no reason and embarrassing himself publicly. But he did have about 100 or something people in the comments all praising him. A couple other people in the comments did say like, yeah, it might be fake and scripted, but it's a positive message. And you're not wrong. The message is positive, yeah. Sometimes maybe a person could use a hug, a consensual hug. And not like a just jump scare hug where you squeeze him like a tube of Go-Gurt, you know? Just a nice, friendly hug might be a helpful thing. So I guess the message overall isn't bad, but it's done because he wanted to gain from it, and he tried to play it off like this was a real thing that happens. I'd be more inclined to believe that this is a good guy trying to spread a good message if his other fake shit wasn't so vain like this.
Walking back to my car when I noticed this guy taking pics in front of it. I was totally cool with it until he started to sit on it.
Yeah. Can I see the inside? Yeah, hold on. Let me just get the keys out of my bag. Bro, thank you, man. So crazy, man. This is my dream car.
Well, you can't find the keys, bro?
Dude, they gotta be here.
What's this then?
What do you...
Wait, it's my fucking car, bro. Get out of here.
When he's not doing the old peck dance on TikTok, he's flexing his expensive cars and his wealth and making these little fake pranks and situations around them. I also had a good giggle at that one in particular because I'm pretty sure the guy that was leaning on his car is the same guy from his suicide script, and also he forgot to remove the fucking rental tag from the keychain. That is a goddamn rented car that I'm sure they got just for the sake of banging out some fake TikTok pranks. So it's not even his ride to begin with. So it really feels like a guy that's just desperate for attention, so he really thought by pretending to save someone from killing themselves, it'd help blow up his TikTok career. But that kind of fell flat. It put it on my radar though, because I love seeing goofy shit like this and people like sinking to the absolute depths of hell to scrounge together the most awful ideas and actually going through with them. I think there's nothing more shameful than trying to pretend like you saved someone from killing themselves. There's really no justification for it. You went through the effort of making this shittily acted B-movie Hallmark thing to try and like make yourself seem like some kind of hero or great person. It'd of course be worse if this was a real situation where he actually did encounter someone going through such a hard time they were considering suicide, and he decided to try and use them as a prop for his own gain. So I guess in the grand scheme of things, choosing between two evils, this was the lesser one. At least he faked it. It wasn't actually a suicidal person that he tried to farm for internet clout. But I will say he's somewhat of a pioneer, I've got to be honest. I haven't seen someone fake something like this before, and it's pretty low. It's not the worst fake shit I've ever seen online. That still goes to fake animal rescue videos. Those absolute sick fucks. For those that don't know, on YouTube there is a very popular genre of content where these absolute scumbag pieces of shit take animals and put them in dangerous situations like fighting a snake. Sometimes they even like run over their leg with a tire, so they put the animal under a car tire, and then they film themselves saving the animal as if they just encountered it and now they're gonna save it and take care of it. It's so fucking gross. And those are still extremely popular on video. Fuck those fake animal rescue videos. That shit is awful. I know I'm getting a little off topic, I'm getting carried away, but that makes me just absolutely heated to know that that shit still exists. But bringing it back to the topic, faking this kind of thing I still think is extremely low, tasteless, and just downright awful. That's about it. See ya. We're living in a gold rush, but instead of chasing gold, we're chasing something far less valuable. Internet clout. What is clout? What is its origins? Clout is basically internet attention. They're attention points, good boy internet points, to let you know that you matter somewhere to someone. Clout's origins are actually quite humble. It began by simply posting shit online. If it got popular, it got popular. If it didn't, you weren't really all the different for it. You didn't care very much. But now, 10 years after the invention of clout, people covet the clout, worship it. They aren't whole without it. If you go to school these days and you have less than 1,000 followers on Twitter or Instagram, do you even matter? Probably get bullied fucking wedgies, fucking swirlies in the toilet bowl, I imagine. How far would you go for the clout? Would you shoot your significant other with a .50 caliber round for a YouTube prank that was supposed to be a viral video, but instead you executed them on the spot? Perhaps, maybe. Or would you be like Dan Sullivan, the man we're about to look at today? Madman Dan. Dan Sullivan is an aspiring internet sensation. He's an affluent teenager who cruises around in his father's Benz, films shitty videos, and is really trying his best to pretend to be a comic book supervillain, but only if that supervillain was really into bestiality. Dan Sullivan's attempt at gaining some internet clout was by posting a video titled, "I Make Out With My Dog," where he makes out with his dog while moaning and calling him his husband. He posts a disturbing video hoping that it would pop off and capitalize on bestiality enthusiasts or just fucking degenerates in general, or make him a bad guy, because I guess in his mind, any publicity is good publicity. At least that's the phrase that a lot of people like to toss around.
It's Dan, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My husband with me. His name is Luis, and I love him so very much.
Oh, you a little feisty boy.
The video's around 4 minutes and it's super fucking gross to watch. At one point the dog tries to escape but is forced back by Dan. It's like something out of a fucking horror movie, really. And like I said, these kind of people subscribe to the idea that any publicity is good publicity, which I truly believe was just a meme started on 4chan to troll delusional, lunatic, fucking dumbass idiots like Dan into making shitty, cringy content for them to mock. Because that phrase is remarkably inaccurate. Negative publicity kills careers, and it does it all the time. Yeah, sometimes in businesses that are too big to fail, like Nestle, it doesn't really matter the publicity because it's still going to succeed. The same is not true for a fucking 10,000 subscriber YouTube channel. His channel's not small, not by any means really, and this kind of shit is what kills a channel like that right from the get-go. You don't grow from having a reputation as a dog fucker. That's not, and why would you even want that reputation to begin with? Dan Sullivan is the result of what happens when your dad gives you money instead of attention. You crave it elsewhere, but he doesn't have the talent to make anything good, so he does what could be shocking: make out with his dog, cruise around in his father's Bentley, shitting in his diapers, pretending that he doesn't care about the hate comments he gets. Negative publicity ends careers constantly. Look at Brooke Hoots, or Houts, I already forgot how to say her name. She's the girl from a few months ago who abused her dog on camera. Her channel's fucked. Her whole career online is fucked. She was a hugely exploding channel at the time, and now she has nowhere to go. She's gonna have to get a 9-to-5 job. In Dan's case, his golden toilet and silver platter upbringing probably prevents him from even knowing what a real job looks or feels like, and judging from his fucking scrawny physique, he probably doesn't even have the strength capable of scanning groceries across the fucking register. And perhaps he won't need a job. You know, maybe he could just live off his dad's hemorrhoid money for the rest of his life if he needs to. I don't know how wealthy his family is, but judging from his videos, he comes from an extremely privileged background. But it's very clear that something is missing if you're going on camera to get sexual with your dog.
You're a sick motherfucker. What's up, you guys? Hi, it's Dan, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Even just listening to one of his videos is a challenge in and of itself. He really tries super hard to pretend that he's extroverted and outgoing, so he overcompensates by being extremely fucking loud. And he has this downright pathetic intro where he snorts a straw in a Starbucks cup and then says, you know, welcome to my channel, takes a drink. It's fucking awful. And the majority of the shit that he makes is just him complaining about his haters. You know, why do people hate me? I don't get it. I just fucked my dog on camera. Oh, how can people be so sensitive? I'm sorry if I offended you. Sorry, not sorry. Ha ha ha, I laugh in the face of my haters because I get to suckle on mommy and daddy's teats of money. Truthfully, walking a mile in this dude's shoes must kind of suck, just being stuck in the shadow of your parents for your entire life and never being able to break out and have a face or voice of your own. So I guess it makes sense that he'd lash out with horribly shit content like making out with his dog and just being a fucking general pest on the internet, but that doesn't make it excusable. It's this quest for internet clout that corrupts the minds of people like this that are already troubled from their upbringing of being ignored and feeling like their self-worth is pretty low. They can't find the self-esteem on their own, so they try to find it in other conduits like online in the form of likes and views. And also, let me just make a quick PSA to the people that'll inevitably go to his channel to dislike his videos. Don't do that shit. This dislike brigade where you think that you're some kind of justice vanguard who goes to the channels and dislikes their videos, you're not helping anyone and you're not hurting anyone. If anything, you're helping the channel you're going to by just giving them more attention and more views. Even though that is ephemeral, it is still a quick boost to the channel in general. If you really want to fight against a channel that you think absolutely does not deserve to be popular online, you do that by ignoring it, not by going out of your way to find every video just to leave a dislike.
So I understand that she gets a lot of hate as well, so it doesn't really surprise me that I'm getting hate too for like trying to copy her. It really doesn't bother me. Like honestly, you guys, as sick as this sounds, at least I'm getting the attention out of it. Like that really is the entire point. And
yeah, you don't have to take my armchair psychology lesson at face value. He outright tells you he only does this stuff for attention and views. And in general, I find that to be very sad, this insatiable appetite a lot of people get for internet attention. But again, for someone like Dan, it's hard to feel any sympathy for them when they go and make a video that looks to be animal abuse, just outright abusing their animal. That's what it looks like. That's the kind of video that it came across as. And he has also done some other scummy shit in his videos and done some very questionable things on other content. So in general, I just think Dan is the perfect example for this desire for a lot of people to get internet attention by any means necessary, and I think that shit sucks. That's it. So yeah. The insatiable appetite for internet affirmation that not only do you exist, but that you're special, drives people to do some wacky things. And one of the worst ways of getting this craved attention is through being a douchebag. And that's what I want to show you today. A young man so blinded by his low vitamin C levels, vitamin Clout, and in his desperate attempt to get this clout, decided to make an absolute fool out of himself on TikTok and ended up being its punching bag for about 24 hours because his whole idea was to just be an asshole.
Post Malone, you a bitch. You suck.
That's rude.
Thank you so much.
You a bitch. You a bitch. Post Malone suck.
What you just witnessed is one of TikTok's biggest and toughest men. A man who's feared even at the salty spittoon. What a absolute fucking Chad. Going to Post Malone's fan signing, where Post Malone was just meeting with fans, signing their things, talking with them, and this guy marches all up, puffs out his chest, and just starts being an asshole. That's the entire piece of content. And you can tell that this guy's not insecure, because the second he started being rude to Post Malone, he immediately ran away. So you know he's not afraid of anything. This guy wakes up every morning and drinks a glass of rusty fucking nails. He's so tough. So yeah, Post Malone got drive-by heckled by a rejected Jonas brother who's desperately trying to get any amount of internet points that he can get. And I just find the whole situation super sad. Not just for Post Malone, but for this guy as well. Because this is just such an embarrassing thing that I think any level of self-awareness will have him regretting immensely at this moment, I would hope. But Post Malone, even if you don't like his music, you have to recognize he is one of like the most authentic and genuinely kind people in the music industry. I like Post Malone's music, but I recognize not everyone will. But even if you don't, like every interview I've ever seen from him, all of his Twitch streams, because he streams on Twitch, or at least he used to stream pretty actively on Twitch, every interaction I've ever seen from him just portrays a really kind person. So to go out of your way to be mean to someone like that takes a special kind of delusional douchebag. And even in the video here, you can see him smiling and talking to fans. He smiles at the guy who's about to be rude to him. And when he gets insulted, he just looks like actually hurt. He's just like, that was rude. And then he just keeps piling it on. Like, I don't know how you don't feel bad after the first time, but he doubles down on the douchery and continues to insult him. And he's just, you know, Post Malone's like, that's just fucking rude. Why would you say that? Like, it's so, like, rough to watch. Now, I don't know much about this kid, but he looks pretty young. I'm sure he's still suckling off his parents' finances like a parasite in order to pay for his trips to the hair salon every 2 weeks in order to match whatever the most trendy TikTok hairstyle is. But I really think he should have saved some of his allowance for a better phone. Instead of just blowing it on White Claw, he probably should have just saved up for a phone that would record in something beyond 140p. This video looks like it's straight from 2009. I don't even know how you have video quality this dog shit, this turbo ass in 2022. You have to be extremely incompetent in order to make your phone look this shitty in this day and age. Now, the whole goal with this stunt was to go viral, and it did. Mission accomplished. It got over 6 million views and is still getting views. But I guess he just wasn't really ready for that, because he ended up going in full baby meltdown mode and took down the video and made a really embarrassing post about how it wasn't actually him in the video, it was his friend. Now, is it possible that it's actually not him? Sure, I suppose. There's some universe out there in the multiverse where that happens to be the truth, but I don't think that's where we're at right now. I think in this reality, he's just using the lamest and oldest excuse in the book. This is like that textbook cringy shit we used to do growing up, where if you send a text message to a girl and you regret it or she doesn't respond, you're like, oh, God, I'm so sorry. That was my friend that sent that. Oh, but stupid friend. I don't know why he'd say that. I'm not weird. My friend did that. Don't get mad at me. Not exactly a watertight response here, and I would have expected someone that puts up this persona of, I'm so tough and, you know, I'm such a badass, I'll go insult anyone on the street. I would have expected them to just like embrace the villain role, but it seems like they're just not built for that. They immediately just fold and just crumple in on themselves here, which of course makes it even more embarrassing for them. But I want to use this as like a little example of the drive to make a viral video where you just throw away common sense in the pursuit of numbers. This guy knew that this would get some attention, and he probably knew there would be some level of hate that came with it where people would get upset about it, but he clearly wasn't ready for the full response he got. He was just so blinded by the pursuit of internet clout that he made a dumb fucking decision and made himself look like a complete asshole on the internet, and that'll follow him around forever if he continues to try and be a TikTok star. So yeah, anyway, just wanted to go over this just a little bit, and that's about it. So yeah. I've got a confession to make, and it's something I'm not proud of. I am deep into the TikTok rabbit hole of desperate attention-seeking behavior. I'm so embarrassed to say that, downright ashamed. I'm like an 80-year-old woman, and TikTok has become my soap opera. It's just this captivating train wreck I can't help but look at. These aren't even like people anymore. They're just clout zombies, an insatiable appetite for internet attention, updates, and increased follower count. Bigger number, better person. And they will do anything to get a bigger number. And nothing is off limits. I swear to God, they would dig up their dead grandmother as a devious lick challenge. They'd fucking shove a Tide Pod down the throat of their dog if it meant more views on their TikTok page. It is just truly this battle where people are coming up with the most outrageous and most deplorable ways of getting internet clout as fast as possible. And that includes faking abuse.
Okay guys, this muffin I got from, I think it was from like some grocery store, is so good. Like,
I have no idea why the fuck you keep recording yourself eating. You're fat and you're overweight.
Yeah, I couldn't find the original video since she took it down after admitting it was all fake. All smoke and mirrors, nothing's real, you got fooled, and it was all a play for attention. So I found this video of a guy watching it and reacting to it. Yeah, so right away you'll notice the acting's pretty dog shit. It's Tommy Wiseau level, sounding like something out of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers here. It actually just comes across like a Darman video for real. Like, stop eating the muffin, you're fat and overweight. Dude fat shames his girlfriend, lives to regret it. But you have to remember, most people on TikTok are actual children. A lot of them haven't even developed object permanence yet. Like, if I put this phone behind my back, they think it disappears. And those are the people that are using TikTok mainly, so when they see something like this, they're just gonna take it at face value. But it's not just kids. Like, no one really expects someone to fake an emotional abuse video for views on TikTok. You'd have to be a real piss stain in a gas station urinal to try some shit like that. So most people assumed it was all real, and especially victims of emotional abuse came forward to support the creator here. And this spread very rapidly on TikTok. She gained like 100,000 followers as a result of it, with people just pouring tons of support into it.
I have no idea why you keep wanting to record that.
I just want to show TikTok my muffin. Like, why did you have to go there?
But when you're fat and overweight, TikTok shouldn't be a priority. It should be losing weight for me.
All right, Mark.
Wow, what a piece of shit. Show this woman love and support, please. But just wow.
Yeah, not exactly classically trained actors from Juilliard or anything, but it was effective enough to gain 100,000 followers and convince people she was in an emotionally abusive relationship with a piece of shit boyfriend. And she got a lot of support for it, and the views were very positive for her. Also, the dialogue is, of course, really awful. They didn't have much of a script here. It sounds like dialogue out of Death Stranding. You're fat, overweight, eating muffin, bad. Lose weight because you're fat, overweight, lose weight for me, okay? It actually just sounds like a parody that you would read on Reddit underneath a post about like an incel or some shit. It's not well executed, but it was good enough that a lot of people believed it initially. And then people eventually started pointing out things that didn't make much sense and calling into question the authenticity of it, to the point where the creator eventually came forward to confirm that, yeah, she faked all of it for attention.
Hey guys, so I just wanted to come on here. I haven't posted in a few days, and it's mainly because I've just been feeling very bad about myself, and I'm just gonna come out. I'm gonna say it. This is the video for all you guys who want it. The muffin video was scripted. Everything was scripted.
Lying again, are we? This wasn't scripted. There was no script here, and if it was written by a 4-year-old. You just improv'd something that you thought would sound like emotional abuse. You just told your friend to just say like, hey, just call me overweight while I'm eating this muffin. That was it. That's all the thought that went into it. You knew that it would gain traction because no one likes to see a woman getting belittled and insulted, especially not by their boyfriend. So you knew it would be a viral video for you, but you didn't script shit. You faked it. Don't say you scripted it. You're giving yourself far more credit than you deserve.
Nothing was authentic. Nothing was real. Nothing was true. I want to thank all the accounts who are holding me accountable, because that's what we should be doing in today's society. And after the muffin video, you're probably like, well, why'd you keep going?
I love that line when someone makes an apology video after getting caught with their ass in their own mouth. Actually, I'm super glad you're all holding me accountable. This was really a social experiment to make sure that everyone was ready to hold someone like me accountable for these actions. It was all staged in order to empower all of you to hold me accountable. So thank you for that, and you all passed the test. Come on, we know you're not happy about that, so take the mask off, drop the act, just be like a Scooby-Doo villain who gets caught. I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids, you fucking turbo nerds.
And that's what, if you notice, I have another TikTok. That's what my marketing team told me to do. They said, keep going, like, continue to grow, continue to grow. As a person, though, it just keeps eating me inside. They told me, don't make this video because you're gonna get so much hate. And it's like, I don't care. You guys can hate on me. You can do whatever you want. I literally don't give a shit, but...
Where'd you get your marketing team? Off Fiverr or something? Just like one guy in his basement who says he's a marketing expert? What kind of strategy is that? No, just keep going. That way it just keeps building, and then you look even stupider when you eventually have to fold because it's become too much and people are shitting all over you on TikTok. That's not marketing. That's self-sabotage. What you have is like a double agent who must be working for like your arch nemesis on TikTok trying to like sink your career. It's a terrible idea. It's a horrible strategy. Though I do like the scapegoat. I don't know if she has a marketer that could just be like someone she's pushing blame on in order to make herself look a little bit better. Like, listen, you plebeians, I win against math and science. My marketing team, all 500 of them, all of them told me don't do it. They begged me not to make this video, but I knew in order to be the morally perfect person that I am, I needed to come forward and own up to my one and only mistake. I said, damn the numbers, damn the data. I'm doing what's right. Even though it was probably just her and her friend that hatched this idea as just a quick viral video, knowing that they'd be able to capitalize off an emotional abuse situation in order to get like some pity follows or just some supportive messages and validation. It's just really disgusting all around. And I do wonder if there is a marketing team here at all.
I just want to make it clear that if I lose 150,000 followers, that's fine, as long as everyone knows that this video was not to hurt anyone. There were no bad intentions. Because TikTok is an entertainment app, that's purely what it was for, entertainment.
What the fuck is entertaining about witnessing emotional abuse? Like, where's the fun? Was I supposed to sit there and watch the video and be like, oh, hey, oh, just like a jolly old belly laugh? Like, oh my god, she's eating a muffin and getting insulted for it. Hey, top notch, this is what I'm fucking talking about. Like, what does she watch for fun? Beheading videos? How could you possibly think people would, like, be entertained by watching abuse? There's nothing enjoyable or wacky or goofy about it. It's just sad. Like, it is just sad. And it's especially insulting to people who actually have been through abuse like that, who would have watched that video and been like, oh my god, this is so terrible, and then, like, actually relate to it, only to be told, no, I lied about it, I staged it just because I wanted more followers, it was just supposed to be entertaining. It's like, oh, it was just supposed to be entertaining, okay, so abuse is just entertainment to you. It's, you know, it's just, it's an insulting, silly fucking concept.
I did, however, do the breaking up text, which I wasn't supposed to do. My marketing team told me to continue with the whole abusive boyfriend, or like boyfriend calling me fat, but I made that video just for the young girls on this app, just to show them that if you're treated that way, it's important to leave.
That contradicts everything you just said, that you did it for entertainment. Now you're trying to spin it where you're doing something more heroic than you actually were. This wasn't some kind of PSA where it's like, hey girls, if you've been in a relationship like this, you need to leave. That was never the message. It was you being insulted, and then apparently she did like a follow-up where she broke up with her boyfriend over a text or something, which of course was also staged, but at no point was it ever supposed to be something to like inspire or get people to reflect on their own relationship. As you just said, it was for entertainment, which is fucking stupid.
I'm really a stand-up person, and I'm big on my morals, and this completely went against that. Was it just all for TikTok and views? Yeah, it was. And that's, I know, it's sad. It really is. I also want to let you know I did not profit off this. I was not in the creator fund while I was doing this. I did not profit at all.
She's being very honest here. Just fully admitting she did it all for views and that sweet, sweet attention. Attention is more valuable than oxygen, honestly. It's just that precious lifeblood to the modern human. And she may not have profited financially from it. She says she wasn't in the creator fund, so didn't make any money off it. But she earned something more important than money. Clout. Money's temporary. Clout is forever. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit since I've been so deep into this TikTok attention-seeking culture, and that's really about it. So yeah.